ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our regular meeting of the Irving City Council for November 7th, 2024. It's a pleasure to have each and every one of you with us this evening. First item on our agenda is the organizational service announcements. Sinead, do we have residents who would like to have an announcement for us?
Yes, sir. We have two. The first speaker is Deborah Fleck, followed by Carla Morgan, and you have 3 minutes to speak.
Hello, City Council, Mayor, City Manager, and other city staff. I'm Deborah Fleck, and I live in the Irving Arts District. I'm here today representing the Irving Department of Arts and Culture, and I wanted to share some news about upcoming arts and culture events in our city. This fall, we are embracing a Texas tradition with an exhibit called Momentous, Football, Glue Guns, Moms, and Supersized High School Tradition, born deep in the heart of Texas. The exhibit features moms from MacArthur, Nimitz, and Irving, and lots of photos and historic memorabilia. We also have the 24th Annual Art Connection Members Show in the main gallery through this Saturday. Starting in December, the main gallery will host the annual Christmas tree exhibition. Exhibits at the Art Center are always free, and galleries are open Tuesday through Saturday from noon to 5. Some upcoming shows include Main Stage Irving Las Colinas' production of La Little Night Music, with performances in the Dupree Theater through November 16th. The Sondheim musical features the beautiful ballad Send in the Clowns and some amazing voices. In Carpenter Hall this Saturday, the Irving Symphony Orchestra presents a Western Swing Celebration concert, and the Las Colinas Symphony Orchestra performs a concert on November 16th. And over at our nearby Irving Archives and Museum, the second Saturday of November is this Saturday, which means there's free admission. There will be an origami creations activity where participants can create origami models inspired by plants and animals to take home. And also at noon this Saturday, there will be a reception celebrating our newest exhibit, Diptychs, Triptychs, and Other Experiments, featuring artwork by Irving artist Robert N. Batson. We also are in the final weeks of two exhibits, 60 Years of Healthcare, Honoring Our Legacy, Building Our Future, which showcases the history of the Irving Hospital, and Cheer Couture, The Creation of an Icon, featuring the history of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders' uniforms. Be sure to see those shows before they end. Mark your calendars for December 14th when the museum opens the Smithsonian special exhibit, Japanese War Brides Across a Wide Divide, which explores the lives of nearly 45,000 Japanese women who immigrated to America as wives of U.S. military service members after World War II. And in celebration of Museum Store Sunday, both the Irving Archives and Museum and the Mustang Museum stores will have a sale. The museum sale is November 28th to December 1. And the Mustang sale is November 28th to the 30th. City of Irving employees and members of the Friends of the Irving Museums will get 30% off. More information can be found on our websites. We look forward to seeing you at these events. Thank you.
Carla Morgan.
Hello everyone, I'm Carla Morgan here representing the Irving Heritage Society, and I want to invite you to mark your calendars for December 1st when we'll kick off the Christmas season with our first Sunday open house. We invite you to visit the house when it's dressed out in all its holiday finery. We're located at 303 South O'Connor. Tours will be given between 3 and 5 p.m. in both Heritage House and Mary's Playhouse out back, and we'll have special holiday treats and activities. Additionally, we'd like to invite you out to the City of Irving Christmas events at Heritage Park on Saturday, December 7th. After the parade and throughout the Christmas events that night, we will have both the train depot and caboose and Castor Cabin open for tours. Hope to see you there. Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is the invocation. If you'd please stand for the invocation this evening is being given by Senior Pastor Dr. Blair Robinson from the First Baptist Church in Irving.
Lord, I come to you tonight in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, who alone is able to wipe away our sins. God, we come appealing to you for our great city and asking, God, that you would allow your mercy and your grace to cover us. And Father, we ask that you would allow our city to flourish in the days ahead. We're so thankful for the elected officials behind us who care for us, who think about us, Father, even when we're not thinking about our own city. God, would you endow them with wisdom from on high? Would you allow them to make decisions on our behalf that are good for us, that would be good for our children, good for our safety, good for our businesses, good for our education. God, we recognize in our flesh we are unable to do these things apart from your sovereign grace. So God, that's why we come and we ask with humility and in faith. God, I pray that tonight we would have a wonderful meeting and that the city would move forward because of the endeavors here tonight. We pray all of this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing. Councilman Taylor will lead us in the pledges.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, I'm going to join some people down here in front.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Gabriela Garza, and I'm a Senior Management Analyst in the Innovation and Performance Office. Tonight, I have the honor of recognizing our 2024 Irving 360 Civic Academy graduates. For those that don't know, the Irving 360 Academy is a civic education and engagement opportunity for those who live or work in Irving. The application process is very competitive, with only 25 applicants being selected this year. Those that are a part of the Academy get to have a behind-the-scenes look at city organizations over the course of 11 weeks. These sessions are led by staff across the organization and include an in-depth discussion about essential city functions, an up-close look at key pieces of equipment, and tours of various city facilities. For many applicants, Irving 360 is the introduction on engaging with the city. Like past Academy graduates, we encourage our 2024 cohort to continue their involvement. This may look like serving on a city board, participating in a committee, or even taking the next steps to join our Irving Ambassadors program. After spending the last 11 weeks with each of them, I can confidently say that our community is made better through their contributions and engagements. I am personally excited to see how these graduates continue to help shape the future of Irving. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and recognize the following graduates. First up, we have Alexandra Haynes. Angie Tran. Christian Linchowski. Daniel Denny. Deborah Fusco. Donna Arellano. Gerald Sanguino. Grace Fuster. Heidi Hoppenrath. Janice Daniel. Joseph Johnson. Lanita Johnson. Micaela Elizondo. Prabhu Paramasivam. Prakar Jain. Tayyab Elahi. Celaya Mendoza. Young In. I'd also like to take a moment and acknowledge our graduates that could not be here this evening. Those include Adam Zigmont, Jenna Erickson, Debbie Smith, Maggie Molina, and Patrick Andel. For anyone in the audience who's interested in our next academy, be sure to look out for an announcement this coming summer through our City Spectrum and City website. Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna. Maybe make 2 rows, tall people in the back. Short people in the back. Sure. 2 pretty tall. Come on forward. There we go. Is this too far? Just kind of even out so you make it. Okay. So if you're on this side and Lauren, if you're on this side and Lauren, and this way. Perfect.
At this time, if I could get the Lieutenant Reynolds to come down and join us here in front. It's that time of year. We're getting ready for the Salvation Army, and we enjoyed the music prior to the meeting this evening, and thank them for coming and joining us and getting us in the spirit of giving. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and fellow councilmen, for allowing us the opportunity to be here this evening and hosting our kettle kickoff for the year of 2024. So a little history about the Red Kettle. In 1891, Salvation Army Captain Joseph McPhee was racking his brain trying to figure out how he could help meet the needs of those who are homeless and without food in the city of San Francisco. And he remembered his seafaring days back when he was in London and seeing a pot on the shore when he would come in from being at sea, and people were tossing coins in there to collect money for the poor. And from that idea sparked the Red Kettle, which now 133 years later continues to be one of the key fundraising components for the Salvation Army. And we will, of course, be having the kettle here in Irving, we've already started with Hobby Lobby, and then as the days progress, more locations will open up. But by the time Black Friday is here, you'll be able to donate at Hobby Lobby, Walmart, Sam's Club, and Kroger's within the city and anywhere. And all funds raised locally stay local. And now I would like to give you the opportunity to give to the Red Kettle. And if you don't have cash, no worry. I do have a nice flyer with a QR code that you can scan and donate online. As well, we do need volunteers to ring those kettles for us. So that also helps us raise much needed funds to provide rent utility assistance and food to the citizens of Irving. So thank you for your time.
The mayor and council are going to give, and anybody else who so wishes, feel free to give afterwards. If you don't, no problem.
Turning this on. This on? That's it. This is the last part.
Let's go, Kettles!
We got everybody back. Okay, we'll go ahead and move forward. Congratulations to all the 360 applicants and graduates. I know that it's an interesting opportunity to learn about the city, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So as you've seen some here tonight, sign up and get ready to join the next class. And thanks to the Salvation Army for all that they do in the community, and we look forward to a prosperous holiday season. The next item on our agenda is the Public comments. Shanae, do we have residents who would like to speak this evening?
No, sir, we do not.
So we have the city operation update. Chris, did you have anything?
No, Mayor, thank you.
And then the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda, which is items 2 through 23. Please note that item 15 has been postponed to a future meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. And it passed unanimously. The next item on our agenda is our zoning cases and companion items. If at this time any of you wish to speak, if you'd please stand, our City Secretary, Shanae Jennings, will swear you in.
Please stand if you wish to speak on a zoning item and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that all statements which you will make tonight to the City Council of the City of Irving will be the truth and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you. And for everybody still lingering in the back, we are still conducting business, so please allow the business to continue.
Our first zoning case is ordinance 2024-149ZC, considering a zoning change from RTH Townhome Residential to SP2 R6 Generalized Site Plan for single-family residence 6 to allow 2 detached dwelling units on one lot with variances to the minimum parking and garage requirements at 706 Hollywood Drive. Is the applicant with us this evening? We have the applicant with us. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Maria Perez, and I'm here on behalf of the zoning case at 706 Ballywood Road. Okay. So this is my parents' property. They've been living in Irving since 1990 and bought the house back in 2002. I have also been a lifelong Irving resident. I wanted to share why my parents built a structure in the back of our house. I am the oldest of 6, and there's not enough room in our house to accommodate everyone. I recently moved back to Irving, and my dad wanted me to stay at home due to the fact that he is sick and has not been able to work in the past year. I am a school psychologist and work from home, and he wanted me to have a space free of distractions. Originally, the structure was a garage, and he made it into a livable space. As you know, renting is expensive, and I try to help my parents with money and other necessities, and all we ask is for the structure to stay as it is. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Did we have anyone signed up to speak, Shanae?
No. Oh, yes, we do. That was Maria Perez. No, we don't.
Are there any questions of the applicant from the council? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion. Mark,
I'll make a motion for disapproval.
do I have a second? We have a motion and a second. Would you please vote?
Deny.
And the motion passes and the case fails. Item number 25 is ordinance number 2024-239-ZC, considering a zoning change from HCD NMU Heritage Crossing District Neighborhood Mixed Use Subdistrict to SP1 Detailed Site Plan Heritage Crossing District Neighborhood Mixed Use with a variance to allow 3 residential units with a variance to the parking location at 310 West 3rd Street. Is the applicant with us this evening? Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Oscar Garcia, 1911 Williams Road, Irving, Texas. And I'm the GC for this project.
Sir, can you pull the microphone towards?
Sure, right there? Okay.
Yes.
I'm the GC for this project, and we present the additional unit on the backside of the property. And we follow the recommendations of the zoning commission, and we got a little problems with the parking area, so we follow the recommendations of the zoning commission, and we want to build it on the right side of the property to meet with all the codes, according with the codes of the city, and try to do the best thing for this project. So that's it. We follow all the suggestion and recommendation for the zoning commission. We are here for your approval.
Okay. Are there any questions of the applicant? Sinead, do we have anyone signed up to speak?
No, sir.
No questions of the applicant. I would return it back to the council for a decision. Motions?
Motion for approval.
We have a motion for approval. First and a second, please vote. And it passes 5-4. The next item is 2024-298CC, considering a zoning change from R6 Single Family Residential 6 to SP2 Generalized Site Plan Single Family Residential 6 with a variance to the minimum front yard setback for a carport at 1916 Meadow Glen. Is the applicant with us this evening?
Hello, my name is Joe Jang, applicant at 1916 Meadow Glen. I am requesting this on behalf of my parents. We've lived in Irving for the last 38 years. Previously, we were protecting our cars during hail damages and natural weather disasters at our tire shop in Irving. But since recently they've retired, so now we're trying to find a way to mitigate for hail damage and having one of their most valuable assets get damaged constant on a year-round basis. So we're requesting this general site plan exception for a carport. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions of the applicant? Seeing none, Sinead, do we have anyone signed up? Okay. No questions of the applicant. We turn it to the council for a motion.
Motion for approval. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Would you please vote? And it passes 7-2. Item number 27 is 2024-351ZC, considering a zoning change from R6 Single Family Residential 6 to SP2 R6 Generalized Site Plan Single Family Residential 6 with variances to the minimum lot width and minimum lot area for the transitional lot, at 525 East Pioneer Drive. Is the applicant with us this evening? Good evening.
Good evening, sir. This is Nikhil Patel, property owner of.
State your name and address.
This is Nikhil Patel, property owner of 525 Pioneer Drive. We purchased this property last year, and we had a couple ideas, but then eventually this was the best idea to put two single family, or to ask for a variance for the separation of the lot and then put a single family home. I think it will benefit the city as well as to be a new single family home, affordable housing as well. So.
Mark.
Yes, sir. I have a question for you. There was a discussion at the P&Z about requiring there to be circle drives. What are your thoughts about that?
So the conformity of the neighborhood doesn't require one, but if we have to get one, we're gonna have to figure out how to put a curved drive, or could a 3-point turn will work as well for them to reverse back and then go head first, or the car head first.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions of the applicant? Shanae, anyone else signed up? Okay, I'd entertain a motion. Mark?
I make a motion for approval, but with no requirement for a circle drive or any other type of drive like that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Would you please vote? And it passes 8-1. Item number 28 is 2024353CP, considering a comprehensive plan amendment changing the future land use category from traditional neighborhood to manufacturing warehouse at 2131 East Irving Boulevard and 2501 East Shady Grove Road. Is the applicant with us this evening?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. My name is Eduardo Morales. I work for Next Design Build, which is in representation of applicant for 2131 East Irving Boulevard, 2501 East Shady Grove. I'm presenting a case of, can you show this? Or no?
You can, no, you just play it there. They'll put it, it'll come up.
Okay. So we have a case of rezoning SP1 for light detailed site plan, and there's two different cases. Well, in past sessions, there was some opposition. I brought some plans here to show if you had any questions about or intentions or plans for that, those two lots. Also, there was some opposition, and the applicant was accused of working on with no permit. I can show you permit of the applicant he has been using, and he was working on the lot adjacent, which is not even part of this case. The intentions of this is to grow the business. It's going to be a single-story office warehouse facility for truck parts. This part of this side is traditional neighborhood on this side, and we're intending to have like employee parking lot on this side of Irving Boulevard, which is to have minimal disruption to the neighborhood. Also with the fence, and or business hours would be 8 to 7 p.m. on Saturday, Sunday 8 to 3 p.m. Like I said, minimal disruption on the Irving side of the plan, and the Shady Grove would be a parking lot through this side. This would be a parking lot, and the building is no more than 3,000 square footage, one story. We just want to expand their business. They want to expand their business. They've been thinking about going online, and they've been wanting to have more inventory. They're intended for 80% of the business to be online, so will be minimal traffic as well. We have also one of the neighbors, which is in favor. He will speak just so you see that there's other people as well in favor of the project. If you have any questions, let me know.
Any questions of the applicant? Seeing none, Shanae, we have someone that has signed up.
Yes, James Badair, followed by Jose Valdez, sorry.
Okay, come. Mr. Badair?
Is James here?
Mr. James? Now, also, if you have questions about the business, we have the AGM here of the business and the owner of the business and the lot. He's the next door neighbor of It's 2139, I believe. You see, Mr. James, you have any questions for him as the rightful owner of the next?
We just give his name and address, and then
Your name and address, sir?
James Badair, 2129 East Irving Boulevard.
Whatever you want to say, Mr. Badair.
Are you in favor of the plants?
I don't have a problem with what he's trying to do.
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Is that it?
Jose Valdez, followed by Christy Stevenson.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening. This is Jose Valdez, 2105 East Irving Boulevard. The gentleman that just heard, he sold the house. He cannot vote on this. The house belongs to the other party that is trying to get the permit.
Yes.
So that's kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
The permit, when he was questioned, when he was digging without knowing where the gas pipes are, there was no permit. The first responder asked, and nobody saw any permit, any markings from the Atmos people. Atmos also said, why never were called to mark? So, and it's a risk for the neighborhood, to be honest. It's a peaceful neighborhood. It's already a lot of traffic. So we oppose, to be honest.
Okay.
Thank you.
Christy Stevenson, followed by Kenny McBride.
Good evening.
Hi, I'm Christy Stevenson at 2127 East Irving Boulevard. I live 2 houses from the proposed plan amendment and zoning change. I'm going to read because this is not my gift to speak in front of all you wonderful people. I am humbled coming before you today to let you know that I oppose this proposed land use change and zoning change. I am not a public speaker, but this is very important to me, so here I am. I bought my home on East Irving Boulevard in 2009 because of the beautiful trees and the 1942 farm home. Our neighborhood is very quaint and unique with large lots and access to the Campion walking trail. We, my neighbors and I, treasure that. This street is a busy street during the day, but it's quiet on most nights and evenings. As neighbors, we try to support each other and have each other's best interest in mind. This proposal came out of nowhere. Our new neighbor never approached us with any of this. How we found out about this was through the mail. As a few of us, those who live within 200 feet, which didn't include very many houses because we have large lots, explain what was proposed. Thank you so much, City of Irving, for doing that. I want to ask you, how would you react to find that someone was wanting to build a warehouse 2 houses down from you and across the street from your friend's home, and one of those homes has 3 small children? Adding a warehouse, no matter how big or small, where families live, is encroaching on our homes and our way of life. It will cause more traffic, noise, and bright lights on this already busy street. And now nights and weekends will be affected. I know there's an automotive repair shop already on the corner that's been there before I moved there. We can't do anything about that at this time, but we can make our voices be heard about this one. I truly oppose these changes. I thank you very much for your time and your considerations. May God bless each of you.
Thank you.
Kenny McBride, followed by Dana Bailey.
Good evening. I'm kind of like Christy. I'm not good at these things, so I wrote down
You're fine.
what I needed to say. My name is Kenneth McBride, and I live on 2132 East Irving Boulevard. I'm a lifetime resident of Irving, Texas, and I purchased my first and only home on 2132 East Irving Boulevard in October of 2002. Thank you for the opportunity for us to understand what is proposed in planning and development and for the chance to speak on the proposal and the zoning request change being considered for my neighborhood. I was born and raised in Irving, Texas. I was 22 years old when I bought my home. I worked very hard to improve and pay my home off in the initial years. It was always my dream to be a family man. I've always taken great pride in growing up in South Irving, and I take a great deal of pride in family and community. My wife and I married in 2014 and started having children in 2016. Growing responsibilities and time since has landed us with the blessing of 3 small children and the chance to be caregivers to my 83-year-old grandmother. I'm against changing our zone from traditional neighborhood to manufacturing and warehousing. I am unaware exactly how this change would impact my neighborhood currently and in the future in regard to traffic, noise, taxes, appeal, and other unknown factors. We love the neighborhood feel our house has. We appreciate Irving permitting folks to improve and even build new housing on and around our street. We appreciate the walking and biking trails leading into Trinity View Park and the Campion trails that are accessible from our street. My family and I want more of growth like this. We currently have higher volumes of traffic on our street that I feel is largely contributed to businesses operating on each end of our street. We regularly witness daily folks driving well above the speed limit, entering and leaving the businesses on the east end of the street, in addition to the traffic from car lots, mechanic shops, and other businesses that are present along the west end of the street, the west side of Wildwood. Allowing zoning for manufacturing and warehouse for more business on the street will only potentially further increase traffic and take away from the traditional neighborhood feel that is left over. It feels less and less safe for our kids to play in the front with the higher frequencies of speeding traffic over the last 5 to 10 years. Regular-sized vehicles to larger freight trucks.
1 minute left.
In regards to the visual appeal, I currently can't see the business on the east side of the street from my porch. I see houses. Along this zone change would place a potential manufacturing site or warehouse in view across the street from my home. The potential for further growth from successful business in time could potentially change plans for the property owner to incorporate further change for not just the suggested lots, but my neighbor who just sold his house who spoke earlier. So he sold the property across the street, which could potentially grow further into that lot. In regard to taxes and insurance, things have been steady on the rise. I'm unaware how this zone change would impact property value and taxes from the homeowner perspective. For current times to 20 years down the line, my wife and I have invested the majority of what we have into our home. We added 800 square feet in 2020 to improve our lot and home for our family. We are all in for the long haul, and we are fully vested. With my wife and I being in our early 40s and having a 2, 6, and 8-year-old, we plan to be here forever. We certainly pay our fair share in taxes and insurance and in the growth.
3 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dana Bailey, followed by Candace Cobb.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Dana Bailey. I live at 2103 East Irving Boulevard. My family has owned our home for more than 50 years. I grew up coming to this house when my grandparents lived in the house, and now I live there. We oppose rezoning the addresses in question. If this residential address is rezoned, this will only exacerbate the traffic and noise level, which disrupts the peacefulness of our homes. This is a residential community and should not be a warehouse industrial area. We live here. These are our homes. The applicant should acquire a proper commercial business location to conduct business that is not in a residential neighborhood, as any other businesses are required to do. This was residential first and should remain as such. We have already had semi-trucks and normal vehicles that speed down East Irving Boulevard and unhoused people walking back and forth on our street that we have to be concerned about. We have already worked closely with the Irving Police Department, namely the Traffic Control Department, about the speeders. They have set up vehicle counter strips across the street, then radar machines, and now digital speed sign that reads oncoming vehicles. However, that does nothing to slow down the semis and the speeders. We do not need additional noise, commercial traffic, and safety issues added to it. Again, our safety as residents, the noise level, and even more increased commercial traffic will only rise if these addresses are rezoned and commercial properties are approved with our immediate neighborhood. If anything, I'd love to see our neighborhood zoned as residential only. Thank you.
Candace Cobb. And Mr. John Payne, you signed up for 29, but would you prefer to speak on 28? Mr. Payne?
Excuse me.
All right, we'll wait until we get to it.
I'm Candace Cobb, and my husband, Jose Luis, already spoke, but I have a lot to say. I didn't write anything down. I live at 2105 East Irving Boulevard, and we bought our property in 2015. It's our forever home, definitely. We have the nicest neighborhood. It's quaint. We have a lot of elderly families. Our walking trail, which is a biking trail, it's very, very quiet. We have farm animals across the street from us. The residential aspect of it is why we bought our home. And to have this warehouse go in is just not a good fit for our quiet neighborhood at all. It's just not. And I want to say again about the hazmat situation that happened with the digging and hitting the gas line. There was no permit that night. There were 4 first responder fire trucks that came and the hazmat, and then they had to call Atmos because of the gas leak, and we were terrified. It's a few houses down from us, and you know, he doesn't care about our quiet little neighborhood, and we just strongly oppose this. And I thank you very much for your time and consideration. I broke my foot.
Mr. Payne, are you here? John Payne? All right. Well, that completes our speakers, Mayor.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the council for the applicant or the speakers? Seeing none, I would turn it back to the council for a motion.
I'll move for a denial of the comprehensive plan amendment.
We have a motion and a second. Would you please vote? And it's denied 9-0. Okay, what do we need to do that?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Okay, that makes the next item moot, is that correct? So thank you.
So we'll go to item number 30, which is considering a zoning change from SP2 CC, Generalized Site Plan Community Commercial, to SP1, RAB Detailed Site Plan Restaurant with the attendant accessory uses of the sale of alcoholic beverages for on-premise consumption at 1900 Marketplace Boulevard, Suite 110.
Motion for approval.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, Manager and staff. Sharon Barbosa Crane, 2608 Alanadale, Irving, representing the owner and applicant in a zoning case 356, which is an RAB case for a property located at 1900 Marketplace Boulevard. This is a restaurant, and the restaurant owner has determined that he would like to serve alcoholic beverages to his customers, and that is the reason that we're bringing this case. It is Zone CC, as are the surrounding properties. They're either CC or RAB, which several of them are. Their regional commercial is the future land use map designation. That is not being changed. This owner meets all of the regulations of our RAB ordinance, planning, I beg your pardon, parking and fire and traffic have all reviewed this case and have found no problems with it, nothing is a problem with the request at all. This restaurant is in an ideal place for what it wants to do, in that it is in this commercial area as I described. It has access to both 635 and to Marketplace Boulevard. It is surrounded by commercial properties, and it is in nearby residential properties. And because of the demographics that are emerging in the area, because of this access, because of the amenities that are being provided, because of the fact this has already been zoned for a restaurant, and the owner is in the process of designing and installing all of the particulars in this restaurant, things such as it is a two-story facility. It will have a number of private rooms. It will seat more than 250 patrons. It has an attractive bar area. It is well appointed and designed to be an asset to this center and to the surrounding neighborhood. We believe that it meets all the criteria, not just for our regulations, but also for being something that's beneficial to the neighborhood and to the city of Irving as a whole. The staff has recommended approval of this RAB case. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval as well, and we ask that you do the same, that you will grant approval of this RAB, and we're here to answer any questions, and thank you so much.
Are there any questions of the applicant? Seeing none, do we have anyone signed up,
Motion.
Shanae? Okay.
Move for denial?
I'll second Dennis's for approval.
He
did it right from the very beginning.
Well, the motion is actually for denial because I didn't get a second.
Okay.
So the motion is for denial. Do we have a second?
Second.
Would you please vote? And it passes 6-3. The next item on our agenda is number 31, which is 2024-362ZC, considering a zoning change from SP1 detailed site plan commercial park to SP1 detailed site plan for commercial park and hotel uses at 5000 West John Carpenter Freeway. Ms. Barbosa Crane has I believe you'd like to have us postpone this?
Yes, Mayor. Thank you. Sharon Barbosa Crane, 2608 Allendale, Irving, representing the owner and applicant in this zoning case 362 for a rebuild of a hotel destroyed by a fire. Did hear your discussion during work session today and believe that we can satisfy some of your concerns, but we will need to have a little time to do that and bring it back to you in a form which you can look at and readily see and understand what we've done. And for that reason, we're requesting a postponement until the next meeting, which I believe is the 12th of December.
Okay.
Motion for postponement to December 12th?
Second. We have a motion and a second for postponement. Would you please vote? And it passes 8-1. Ordinance number 2024-364ZC. Staff has asked that this item be postponed until the December 12th. I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to postpone to December 12th.
Second. Motion and a second. Would you please vote? And it passed unanimously. Next, we have the appointments, item 33 and 34. Casting a City of Irving's allocated votes for the candidate for the Board of Directors for the Dallas Central Appraisal District. Brad or Kyle?
I move to cast the City of Irving's votes for a member of the Board of Directors of the Dallas Central Appraisal District for William David Palmer.
We have a motion and a second. Would you please vote? And it passes unanimously. Item number 34, annual appointments.
That's me. I think Kyle tricked me into agreeing to this, so.
Well, I'll read a page or two, but just I wasn't there, so.
I'm
I figured as
okay.
a lawyer, you could be long-winded.
I'm okay, yeah. It is going to be long-winded, actually. I move that the following appointments be made to the City of Irving Board, Commissions, and Committees to terms expiring November 2026 unless otherwise noted. Irving Advisory Committee on Disabilities to appoint Althea Jones, Place 2, Angela Morales, Place 6, and reappoint Ogana Agu, Place 4, Jacqueline Arcady, Place 8, Felisa Johnson, Place 10. Irving Animal Services Advisory Committee to reappoint Marla Gaspard, Place 4, Dr. Vidya Saran, Place 6. Irving Arts Board to reappoint Joanne Hull, Place 2, Melody Gamblin Bullock, Place 4, Michelle Louise Corden, Place 6, Max Duplant, Place 8, Donna Bourgeois, Place 10. Irving Board of Health to reappoint Dr. Sora Choi, Place 2, Monica Huerta, Place 4, Geneva Burnap, Place 6, Prakash Ranka, Place 8. Building and Standards Commission to reappoint Jason Simon, Place 2, Philip Metters, Place 4, Pankaj Shah, Place 2, alternate, Mohammed Akbar, Place 4, alternate. Construction Board of Appeals to reappoint Joel Rangel, Place 2, Raymond Brown, Place 4. Irving Convention and Visitors Bureau Board of Directors to appoint John Tansabell, Place 8, Anthony Buttafuoco, Place 10, and reappoint Michael Bisoko, Place 2, Richard Stewart, Place 4, Yasser Arafat, Place 6, Greg Malcolm, Place 12, and appoint to a term expiring November 2025, Karen Cooperstein, Place 5. Board of Directors of the Dallas County Flood Control District Number 1 to reappoint to a term expiring August 2026, Donna Leipzig. Green Advisory Board to appoint Russ Mitchell, Place 2, Brad Woods, Place 4, and reappoint Christian Lesikowski, Place 6, Kevin Yard, Place 8, and appoint to terms expiring November 2025, Joshua Burkow, Place 3, Rafael de la Sujol, Place 5. Housing and Human Services to appoint Robert Stephen Davidson, Place 6, and reappoint Yvonne Davis, Place 2, Brittany Prince, Place 4, Brittany Duffin, Place 8. Capital Improvements Advisory Committee to appoint Sunil Mosa, Place 2, Roy Getting, Place 6, and reappoint Debbie Hawk, Place 4. Library Board to appoint Christopher Wolf, Place 2, Salem Akkad, Place 6, and reappoint Kim Andrus, Place 4, Jessica Thornton, Place 8. Parks and Recreation Board to appoint Brenda Blakeney, Place 4, and reappoint Paul Silverleaf, Place 2, Charles Coates, Place 6, Michelle Onuoha, Place 8. Planning and Zoning Commission to reappoint Priscilla Vigilante, Place 1, Gerald Sanguino, Place 2, Joshua Skinner, Place 3, April Myrick, Place 4. Zoning Board of Adjustments and Appeals to appoint Carolyn Horner, Robin Holmes, alternate 2, and appoint to terms expiring November 2025, Shubha Dasgupta and Robert Long, alternate 1.
Is that it? Do I have a second? Would you please vote? And it passes unanimously, and that brings us to our end of our agenda. Thank you all for being here this evening.